Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you? I'm good, man. Back home. Been about a week and a half of crazy. Out running around talking to some different organizations, things of this nature, and I really wished I could put this out there, but I can't. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. If I put it up on this platform, they'd immediately take it down. Okay, so it was really, I wanted to gather some information, and I'm going to try to figure out ways to put some of it out, but a lot of it I can't. It has to do with the election and so forth. The election, okay? Just heard today that Pennsylvania has now told its poll workers that they're not even allowed to verify signatures, more or less, compare the signatures of a write-in ballot, these bulk mail ballots. They're not even going to be allowed to compare them to the signature on the registration roll. So these mail-in ballots have zero security being applied to them at all. I really urge voters in Pennsylvania, because what's going to end up happening, all right, I can almost guarantee you now, I'm not a Supreme Court lawyer, but by removing that safeguard, it's the only safeguard you got on those ballots, and it isn't much, okay, because those poll workers are not handwriting experts. If they remove that, I can almost guarantee you, either one, Biden or Trump, can file a lawsuit, get that before the Supreme Court, and the state of Pennsylvania's entire election could get thrown out. Think about that, Pennsylvania. Your entire vote, unless made maybe in person, they might allow them. But anything mailed in, get discarded. Has that happened? Yeah, already in some state elections. Because the suits showed it was hosed up beyond recognition. So understand, when you get states with these bulk mail-in, if you're afraid of contracting the virus, get a absentee ballot. They got a little barcode on them. You know, they mail them to you. They know they go to you, and they can track it through the system. Make your vote count. Whether it's for Biden or for Trump, make your vote count. It isn't going to matter if 100% of the state of Pennsylvania voted for Joe Biden, and those ballots get thrown in the trash, and one person voted at a polling place for Donald Trump. Donald Trump just won Pennsylvania. Think about that for just a minute. Why are they doing this? It is going to do nothing but tie this election up in court hearings and so forth, and I can see the media jumping around going, oh my gosh, you know. You really don't want this. You really don't. Get your, if you're worried, if you're truly concerned about it, okay? Everybody says it's safe. Wear your mask, maintain your distancing. It's no big deal to go in and vote. If you're truly concerned about it, you still have plenty of time. Contact your election board, request an absentee ballot. They'll take your information. They'll send you out one that has a little barcode on it. They scan them in and out. Okay, you fill it out, you mail it back. You can take it back to the Board of Elections, and you're done. You don't have to go to the polling place. All right. So this nonsense of you know, oh, we got to do this mail-in. That's nothing but a bunch of hoopla. And it could lead to some states, especially now that Pennsylvania's pulled this one. No verifications, they're going to get that whole election thrown out. So whatever governor you got in there that pulled that harebrained stunt, I'd be writing him some nasty notes. I'm not concerned about who win or lose here. Okay, I got a dog in the hunt. Yeah, I'm voting for Trump. I'm going to tell you that now. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that we have a clean election. Win, lose, or draw, whatever comes out, it has to be clean election. There's a lot riding on this. And Pennsylvania, yeah, you're risking your vote. Bad idea. Okay, next thing. It looks like the BLM and Antifa and that group have decided against their 50-day protest in Washington, D.C. They do understand that the federal marshals and so forth are, one, going to be still reviewing the tapes that are out there of these protesters from all over the country, and they're going to be comparing it with who's in the crowd. Maybe provide them with a quick trip to a Washington, D.C. jail. They've done a real good job getting a lot of these people brought in, and there's more to come. Matter of fact, part of what I was doing this week was I did learn that These groups have been thoroughly infiltrated, and there's been a lot of information on these clowns turned over recently. And so, yeah, you're going to see a lot more. Burning cities is not the way to get your grievances answered. So they have canceled the group and sent out their little notices that they will not be having the little protest at the White House. Got that one out. They're a little worried about Trump throwing them in jail. Probably if he could, he would. He's not a big fan of Black Lives Matter or Antifa, those guys. So, with that being said, and by the way, I think the count is up to about 8 now that they've caught of BLM and Antifa personnel that have been lighting fires from California, Oregon, and Washington State. And a lot of those wildfires are under investigation right now as arsons. Folks, if you're one of them out there throwing matches into dry stuff, you don't want what could be coming down the pike at you. Because one, that's going to be terrorism. That's an immediate charge. If somebody dies in that fire, you're going for murder at that point. Plus arson. Plus destruction of property, things of this nature. It could... Why are you young kids going to ruin your lives like this? Okay? Because you're making no points. You really aren't. The Black Lives Matter, with George Floyd, when he was died, the polls jumped up in favor of Black Lives Matter. They have lost ground of what they were before that situation at this point. So they're losing popularity with the Americans. These thugs that you're backing, as these court cases and these criminal investigations are going through, they're finding out that these guys weren't killed by police. Well, sometimes they were killed by police, but in self-defense. This has been an overgrown farce. Black Lives Matter, if you're truly concerned about Black lives, why don't you get in there and start doing something in these inner cities to help them clean up and get the crime under control to where blacks quit dying? And it's the number one killer of blacks, is black criminals. So if you want to really put the kibosh on and save black lives, there you go. Get busy. You got a lot to do. You're not interested in saving black lives. You're interested in defunding the police department so that you can create more havoc. And it's not going to happen. Not in this country. So give it up. And there's going to be Antifa kids. No communist revolutions. Okay? It's not going to happen. Too many guys in this country got a lot of experience at taking care of communists, all right? It wouldn't be good for you. It's time to screw up. And, you know, if you want to be in America, you want to be an American, then be an American. All right? But right now, we're having some of you young people who are trying to throw away a lot of your civil rights and want to be segregated from other races, things of this nature. Do you realize what kind of can of worms you could open up here? Affirmative action. There's one. They're getting rid of it in California. Right now. Yeah, getting rid of it. Affirmative action was put into place. See, us older guys, we were around when all this happened. You know, you guys talk about, well, you whites, you have, 400 years up on us. Yeah. Well, I'll give you that. Of course, I was a poor kid, so I didn't have 400 years up on you. That's what affirmative action was for. To help move you ahead faster. And you wouldn't want restitution, because trust me, okay? Restitution, even after the Lakota won the lawsuit, that they were hosed out of their land by the government. They broke the treaty. When the settlement would have been all paid out, and it's still laying there because the Lakota won't take it. They're going, no, we want our land. It would only worked out to per tribal member, like 10 grand. So really, you couldn't even buy a new car out of what you'd get. So why worry about it? If you mess up stuff like affirmative action and your anti-discrimination laws and things of this nature, you kids are going to open up a can of worms that your ancestors are going to be wanting to kick your butts for, because you're really going to hurt your races. Okay, you guys are running around preaching stuff from a book written by a racist about racism. That's dumb. Pennsylvania, I don't care what party you're with, who you're voting for, or anything else. Right now, you might want to be concerned with what they're doing with your, it sounds good. Oh, well, they won't even verify the signatures. Yeah, they won't. And when that nonsense hits the Supreme Court, they're going to throw your election out. And your vote just went into a trash can. So you're not doing yourself any favors. I cannot believe that the Democratic Party is pressing this issue. Get a regular, if you don't want to go there, if you're truly concerned, don't want to go to the polling place, go and get yourself an absentee ballot. That ballot is recognized by the courts. So let's get through this election one way or the other and, move ahead. Donald Trump's done some decent things. I wouldn't, even if I was a stout Democrat, I would not vote for Joe Biden. I'm sorry. You follow your conscience. If you think he's going to make a good representative and a good president, you go for it. Anyway, let's use our heads here a little bit. This bulk mailing of ballots really is going to suck. Republicans, you're an idiot if you do it, because those ballots have little R's and D's on it. Postal Service backs the Democrats, and you're going to hand your ballot to one? Seriously, and on the reverse side, if it was a Democrat, you should understand this. Would somebody walking up with a mega hat on go, here, I'll take that. I'll make sure it gets to the election board. Give me your vote. You'd go, heck no, get out of here, right? Republicans, that's what you need to think about. People coming and picking your write-in ballot is going to be somebody who doesn't back the Republicans. Okay, but I don't ever totally understand it. And by the way, I just heard that the post office lost like another $1.6 billion last quarter because of compensation they're paying their people. It's all union. Okay, that post office needs to be trimmed down, brought into. If you'll look, they can't compete with people like FedEx and so forth. Amazon's making a killing off of them because they negotiated a package deal that the post office loses money every time they deliver one of those suckers. They could get it down to where they deliver mail once or twice or maybe even 3 times a week, and let's face it, how often do you want junk mail, right? So that's primarily what they deliver. And we're spending a lot of your tax dollars to supply you with stuff that you throw in a trash can. Think about it. You might want to go. Luckily, I'd stacked up some videos and made it through my time out of town, and now I'm back. So this thing may not go up until Saturday morning, but I wanted to get my 3rd video out to you because I've been telling you I'm going to do 3 a week. All right, so anyway. So Republicans, make sure you get it. If you're worried about health, you got an elderly person, something of this nature, help them get set up with an absentee ballot and do it right. Okay, we want a clean election, at least especially from the Republican side. You want a very clean election, and get your tush to the polls. Every vote's going to count because you're going to have probably some ballots coming into states that heaven only knows what they're going to be like. All right. So let's use our heads and get up to the polls. All right. I mean, we've got early voting in most states, things of this nature. So let's make sure we get to the polls. And if I hear Democrats talking any more smack at president over COVID, man, this man, when he shut the borders down, the Democrats were hollering, "What are you doing, you xenophobic, Now they're saying he didn't do enough. He's used laws that they haven't used since the 40s to get respirators and things of this done. He's got a vaccine they're busting their tushes trying to get done. He's already got the manufacturing facility sitting there waiting for the formula. Honest to gosh, Donald Trump did not create this virus. The Chinese did. The Chinese the Democrats love. Yeah. Because most of them are communists to start with, most of your leadership. I had heard something the other day that it was from a college that that just amazed me. They were talking about the 2 peace awards being given to Donald Trump. First, they just brought it out and asked the students what they thought about it, and the students are like, he doesn't deserve it. When they explained to him what it was for, well, yeah, that was a good thing. Then they asked him about Barack Obama's Nobel Peace Prize. They didn't have any good answers for that either. As a matter of fact, especially when the commission that handed that prize to Obama said we'd like to take it back for the stunts he pulled in Afghanistan and Iraq. They should have waited a while. Everybody got caught up in the historic black president. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and this may even be on Saturday, so who knows. But take care, and let's get to the polls, and let's do this right. Absentee ballots, the heck with this write-in stuff. Luckily, I'm in a state that basically told the Democrats, you're kidding. We're still going to check IDs, and no, we're not having bulk mail-ins. So, and a lot of states aren't, which is going to bring more weight to the Supreme Courts. Why is it other states could do this? You Democrat states couldn't. Why is that? And it's going to hurt their case when it goes to the Supreme Court. It's probably that's the way it's going to go. All right. Be advised, and that whole scenario can turn out very bad for this country. It can set off a chain reaction of things that you would be amazed at. So let's use care and caution here. We need a good, clean election. Whether Trump wins or loses, if it's a clean election, it'll be accepted. Okay? I'll take care, and man, I'm good to be back in the great state of Tennessee.